The Wireless Go is the world's smallest, most versatile wireless microphone system. I don't know if it's true, but Hi, so today I'll talk a little bit about this Rode Wireless Go clip-on microphone, compact wireless microphone system, it says on the package. And it also says, the Wireless Go is the world's smallest, most versatile wireless microphone system. I don't know if it's true, but so in this clip I'll explain whether this Wireless Go microphone actually does what I expect it to do. I'll explain why I actually purchased this thing. And yes, I did go to a shop and buy it with my own money. So I didn't get paid, I didn't receive this in order to make a review. But since I want to use it for some of my clips at least, out on golf courses or elsewhere, I might as well show you a little review. Of course, there are many reviews of this little machine here on YouTube, but I'll give you mine. So hang on, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like it. So hang in there. So first thing to do is to unpack this, and as you can see, even the package is quite small. So you see the package is quite small and compact. On top there is the a little mini manual, and inside you see the two elements. You see they are both the same size. So inside the package you see cables, because there's a little USB-C cable, because you have to charge the batteries in these devices. Here, so you see this little thing here to reduce the wind noise. If there's a lot of wind, let's see how this actually works in reality. A small cable, because you have to connect the receiving end with your camera. That's this one here. So here you see the two parts of it. This little bit here, this piece here has a microphone, and also a jack, so that you can attach lavalier microphone with a cable and use either one. And this here is the receiving end that you attach to the camera. Here is the USB entrance, and here is the see, there is the entrance for the USB cable, and here is the entrance for the cable with which you connect this receiving device to your camera. So now I have to charge these, and then we'll continue the video and see how this actually works in reality. So I also see that this device here is made in Australia. Now that's very interesting, because you'd expect these things to be made in some Asian country, but it's made in Australia. And I think this is probably the very first time in my life that I'm holding something that's made in Australia. So now I have to charge the batteries, and then we'll see how this thing works in reality. So hang on. As you can see, when you stick in the USB cable, the screen here lights up, and you can see the symbol of the battery and the fact that it's loading. As you can see here, when you put in the USB cable, this little screen lights up, and you see the symbol of the battery, and you see that it's charging. And I suppose it'll turn green when the battery inside is fully charged. Now that's interesting. In the part that has a microphone, there is no screen, but these lamps here that blink and that show that the device is charging. So now let me explain why I actually wanted to buy such a wireless microphone. You know, for my videos I usually use two different types of cameras. I have my little old iPhone SE and I have a SLR camera. Let me see, take a photo of it. And as you can see in this image, I have a microphone which is lying on it because unfortunately a part of it broke. So that's another reason I cannot attach it really to the camera any longer. So for audio recordings, I have again just the direct sound of the iPhone. I have this directional microphone, and I have this lavalier mic, which I've used once or twice, which you can clip on, but which has a cable. So first of all, I'm not so happy with the sound of it. And then this cable is a nuisance because you have to hide it, you know, somewhere on your body. You have to hide this thing. And then if you're walking around, especially if I want to show something on a golf course or talk with other people, then you trip over this cable, you forget about it, and it only has a certain length. Now you may ask, well, why are you not always using this directional microphone on the camera? Well, I can tell you why. Because, you know, in these videos that I try to make, let's say of golf courses, of locations, of landscapes, it is sometimes okay to be close to the camera, like now. And then that's a distance where the microphone captures the sound quite well. But for some shots, especially of golf courses, it is better if you use a telephoto lens to compact the image and to kind of, it looks better. But then you're far away because you have to put the camera far away. And then I'll show you what happens if I walk far away while using this same microphone. So I'll just leave it on. So now I am perhaps 5 yards away. You see the sound is probably already worse. This would be more or less 5, 6, 7 yards would be the length of this cable. If I go farther away, I have to shout. You see, now I'm a bit farther away. If I talk at normal volume, I don't know how well the microphone captures this. But I have to shout, and that's not good for anyone. Another option would be, of course, to have a digital recorder, a Zoom recorder, something somewhere on your pocket, record the sound, therefore on a different device, and then merge it in post-production with your video footage. But that can be quite a hassle too. So those are mainly the reasons why I bought one of these wireless microphones, and I'm very interested to see if it's any good and how well it works or doesn't work. By the way, almost forgot to mention it. I actually got the idea to get such a microphone again from another YouTuber called The Backyard Golfer. I like the stuff that he does, and he reviewed a really cheap, well-priced wireless microphone and is using it. It sounds quite okay, but to be honest, I think it's quite big because again you need to put something in your pocket, so you have the microphone somewhere and then you have a sending device which is a little bit bigger, which you have somewhere in your pocket or on your belt, and the receiving device is also a little bit larger, but the price is quite sensational. But these Rode things, less than $200, I think you cannot complain. By the way, I did not read any instructional manual. So this is at the same time a test to see how user-friendly this little device is, and that you probably don't need a science degree in order to operate this. So let's see. So this is the receiving end. You see there's a little clip up here with a spring. It'll move when I press down here. And so this little clamp here I can attach to the camera. I'll do that. So this is the microphone piece, and there's a button to turn it on. It turns blue, and I'll just clip this on and see what happens next. I probably have to pair it Bluetooth wise. Then I have to connect the receiving end with the camera. Here's a button that I'll press for the pairing of the Bluetooth devices. Let's see what happens. Now that was really dead easy. Once these two devices are paired, all you need is press the button. You will see on this device at the receiving end the signal strength, the volume that you have, and the amount of charge that both devices have, both the sending device as well as the receiving device. This is really handy and useful. So now I'll go outside and try it before it starts to rain. So I'll clip this on and let's see what happens. So the first test I got quite scared because the sound seemed to be so loud and distorted, but it was actually a setting on the camera and I reduced the sensitivity. Because there's a lot of wind here, I also added this little wind protection. You see, this is an interesting live test. I think this does reduce the wind noise. And now I'll walk down a little bit to see how well this microphone works with the camera at a distance and wind noise. So this is about the first distance that I had before with the directional microphone. So now I'll walk way back, much farther away than the length of the cable of the lavalier microphone. So I'm about a mile away, not quite, but maybe 50, 60 yards. And I hope the sound is still quite okay. Here, by the way, is the net that I used during the Corona lockdown to practice golf shots. And now I'll go to the very end of the garden. So this is really far away and probably much farther than I would use in practice filming somewhere. So while I'm walking, I wonder if that works as well, because that should also be a realistic test. I'm really quite happy with this little machine here. Not having looked at an instructional manual, it just works right out of the box. You just have to charge the batteries before using it. By the way, I saw that in the box in which this microphone is delivered, there are actually two USB cables, so you can charge both devices at the same time, which is also very practical. So in the next video, I'll show how this wireless microphone works on a golf course in reality, and I hope it'll be useful and a lot of fun for everyone. So thanks for watching, and see you again.